Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin is really in one of the tightest ranges I have seen in a while, especially during stock market opening hours. So it is really tough at the moment. It's also not a very clear pattern what Bitcoin is producing here. And you get these phases in crypto, you get these phases in financial markets that sometimes it's just best to sit on the sidelines and just to wait and let it play out, that we get a signal in which pattern are we actually. I continue to focus here short term on the downside, but will not rule out that we will go higher before we eventually put another low in for Bitcoin. Yeah, that is still the view. If I go to the 4-hour chart, you can see here very clearly that my assumption is that we are, or at least have a chance still to go higher, as long as we generally hold above 16.3k. That's the 78.6% retrace down here, but that we will put in a fifth wave. So I'm still looking for one more low for Bitcoin. So not bullish on Bitcoin. Short term, yes, but then you need to distinguish. Very short term, it looks like we're coming down further. Yeah, when we have completed this decline, we have a good chance from this support area between 16,300 and 16,700 to rally higher, complete the wave 4 and then come down. Yeah, so I did explain how these wave patterns come about in the previous videos. So there is, I prefer this count that we very short term go down lower. Yeah, unless the most recent high is broken. But until then, I prefer going down. And there's the idea that either we come down here in a wave 2. So basically we created this wave 1 to the upside. We're now coming down in a wave 2 in an ABC pattern and will then rally in a third wave. Or even, and that would be the bearish variant of this, if we drop below 16.3k, I have to go with this, that we indeed put a more substantial top in place here. I warned about that already on the weekend. And that we are now in a 5-wave decline. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will only know that really if we drop below the 16.3k level. Okay. But until then, until we break that, I would still be in preference of further upside here. It would just be the more ideal wave pattern in my opinion. But there you go, you've got different options here, and these options exist. So I have to show them to you, I have to explain them to you. And unfortunately, I'm not making the market, I'm not making these scenarios. They do simply exist. We've got 3 scenarios here, 3 scenarios that could play out. Yeah, as explained in the previous video, either a direct breakout to the upside from here. I don't really believe that due to the price structure. I did explain all of that in the previous video, why that's not very likely to get a direct breakout without a further decline. But that's the first scenario, not very likely. Second scenario is to go into the green box here and then start to rally from there. I think fairly likely. And the third scenario, that's the absolute bear scenario. We would break below 16.3k, which is the support area for this wave 2. And if we break below that support area, a decline into the 14 to 14.5k region becomes very likely. So a few people have asked, why are there so many scenarios? Well, you need to remember that theoretically, an infinite amount of possibilities is there. Yeah, the market can do what it wants, right? The market can move in infinite ways. Yeah, it is my job, obviously, to identify the 2 or 3 most likely scenarios out of the infinity of possible price movements. Okay, so that's why we've got 2 or 3, which is not a lot for technical analysis. You need more than one scenario anyway, and then you're already at 2, and we've got 3. So and one of them is fairly unlikely, which is the imminent break to the upside. Okay, I find that just quite unlikely because we've got a 5-wave decline here, and the move up is currently corrective, so it would imply further downside. I had also a question in the previous video that a wave 1 and a wave 4 is overlapping here. I did my best. I do not see a wave 1 and a wave 4 overlapping here. There just isn't. I tried to find it. I can't. Unless what the viewer meant is this, which is the idea that we moved down in a wave 1, we moved up in a 2, came down in a 3, this is now a wave 4, and we come down in 5. Yes, this is a so-called ending diagonal pattern. Here you have an overlap between wave 1 and 4. This is oftentimes the case in an ending diagonal pattern. Yeah. What else do we have? But here in this structure, you don't have a wave 1 and 4 overlap. We don't know. No, we don't. So yeah, this is my view. Not too much movement today. Let's look in the very short term as well. In the previous video, I told you it could be that we're putting a triangle in place here. And to be fair, this still looks like a triangle, but unfortunately, it can't be an Elliott Wave triangle anymore. And the reason is, so basically a B wave triangle, which would result in another move down. The problem is that this D wave came below the B wave. Now, if we don't want to be too strict, I would still count it as a triangle, but the problem is we dropped with the wave D below the B wave by $2. And because there are rules, I can't really count it anymore. So it can't actually count as an Elliott Wave triangle anymore. So I have to take it out. But it can still be a B wave, yeah. It can still have a triangle shape, but I don't even think it really has a triangle shape anymore. It more looks like a, I don't know, a channel of some sort. But it could be, as I explained as well, just an ABC pattern here, A, B, and a C wave to the upside in wave B before we come down in C. The focus remains here generally on further downside. Of course, this B wave could push a bit higher. We're talking about levels, yeah, around 17,150, 17,214. This is sort of the region, yeah, between the 50% retracement and the 61.8% retracement. Shouldn't really go higher in a B wave here. And then it could come down, yeah. So that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.